Hello everyone, welcome back to Bricks and Blocks. Today I'm going to be doing a review of set 75314 Bad Batch Attack Shuttle. So, let's hop straight into the review. So we're going to start off with minifigures, and the first minifigure up is Hunter. So, I think that he has a very, very detailed print, and I especially like the face print. Well, not the face print, the helmet print basically. And so that's his face underneath. I think it is very detailed, and there are two of the minifigures in this set have alternate hair pieces to go along with their helmet, and Hunter is one of them, actually having hair in the show. He also has a reverse face print, so he has a more muted expression as well. There isn't a ridiculous amount in terms of way of back printing, but it is very good, and I especially like. I just really like the color of gunmetal gray, and I really like that they were able to capture his armor detailing very, very well. Next up, we have Echo, and as you can see, he's got his little blaster. And a feature that I really like was how they're able to capture the fact that he had one of those little astromech arms that went in the little ports on ships and things like that. So, of course, he has got one of those in the show, but I definitely like how they're able to capture it with the gray hand. They definitely could have gone the extra mile and added on an extra attachment piece like they did for Azog, a custom molded hand. But I think what they did is definitely adequate, especially because they were able to get arm printing. So, that was definitely sufficient in my opinion. He has a printed comma, as you can see. I believe he's the only character in the show to have a comma. So that's pretty nice that he has it. He has a very good detailed helmet. I like it, how he's got the slimmer visor. And he's got a excellent face print, and he's got the little ports where he was experimented on. And he's got a back head print, which goes into much better detail of all of the computer accessories in his head. Some people were complaining about the fact that his helmet wasn't custom and his head wasn't custom to go around it, but I think that would have been too much work and it wasn't necessary at all. So I think that they did a very, very, very good job with the Echo minifigure. Next, we have Tech, who I think just looks phenomenal. They got everything to be perfect. His helmet is amazing. Definitely a very good custom mold, as you can see. They got a lot of dual molding in there and everything from the side. And still a good amount of printing as well. It is kind of unfortunate that his visor can't fold down, but I think that's perfectly fine. The helmet is amazing anyways. Also, he's just got very good print. Definitely, the colors really contrast nicely, which I guess isn't something that they necessarily did, but still, I really like it in minifigure form. He's got two blasters, as you can see, and they're a somewhat rare blaster piece, but still somewhat common, I guess. Not specific or custom to him in any way. He's the only one of them to have a backpack, which is kind of unfortunate, as most of them do in the show, and at most times. Got a little antenna there, and he's got a good face print underneath with his goggles, and he's got a hairpiece to go along with it. Around back, once again, he has a reverse face print, which is him without goggles. Some people say this looks cursed, but I think it's perfectly fine. Now we move on to Wrecker. He is definitely a lot bulkier than all the other characters in the show, and they were definitely able to capture that by giving him that big, nice armor piece that they did. And he has printed pauldrons on the side with a skull. and his torso printing is very nice, and I do like how they printed the helmet, as you can see. They did reuse the new Iron Man helmet for that, the one that doesn't open and close, but I don't think it works very well for Iron Man, but it works definitely perfect for him. He has a gun right there, a larger one than the other characters, and there's not a ridiculous amount around back. He does have these two little studs on the armor, so you can connect a backpack there if you wanted to. Underneath his helmet, he's got a very good face print. I definitely like how they're able to capture the, I think it was a blast explosion, maybe a grenade or something, but he does have that one blinded eye, and you can see very faintly, you can see the little effect that he's got going along the side of his face for that explosion. It is impossible for me to capture the awesomeness and majesty of this Gonk droid in this video. There's not enough time in the entire universe to be able to capture his amazingness. As you can see, he's got two very good feet. Instead of using the claws for him, they used the 1x1 bracket connectors. Don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it for right now. He's got a little tile going right there using snot technique, so just to add a little bit of extra depth to him. Unlike what I said in the intro, of course, in all seriousness, it's not an amazing figure. I mean, it's fairly bland. It's a Gonk droid, but once again, still a Gonk droid, so pretty amazing on that front. Finally, move on to the main model of the set, the Bad Batch Attack Shuttle itself, as they call it, or in universe, the Havoc Marauder. So, it's a very good model. It has some guns along the side, one on either side, and it has some little headlights right here. So I think that's pretty nice. Definitely got some good detailing going along here. And you can't really open up the cockpit very well because it's going to run into that top fin section. Now, by the way, this is printed. This is not a sticker, so you will not have to run into that problem when doing the set. So you can just open it up right there, but it doesn't work as very well, like I said, because it just runs in to the fin. But so Lego's solution is just to fold the whole thing open. It's a pretty good solution for, once again, a $100 set. But if this were like a UCS set, they definitely wouldn't do anything like this because of the fact that the connection right there, the connection at the back is fairly flimsy, and I've had it fall off many times on me. But I guess it works pretty fine. How about we move into the interior of the set? Up first, we have the cockpit section, and it has a little control panel right there. So, I mean, it's not a ridiculous amount of detail, but they definitely, at least they got it in there, which is something that I like. You can seat two minifigures in this model. Up front, being the main pilot, you can sit Tech up front, and he has a little bracket at the back to accommodate for the fact that he has a backpack there. I guess it isn't a very good idea to mod the set to add backpacks to the characters because they won't fit very well. At least someone won't fit up front. You can also seat a minifigure in the back. In this case, I'll seat Tech because he is the co-pilot in the show. So the cockpit isn't amazing, but it definitely works. It's a cockpit. You can see all the minifigures up front. It looks pretty nice. Here in the main section of the ship is just a space to seat your two minifigures. So your other two. So you can fit Wrecker in there, and also let me see. You can also fit Hunter in there as well. They are very, very snug in there. It's a tight fit, but once again, at least they can still fit in there. It would be much better to fit them in there than not being able to at all. There's also a little compartment here, which folds open, and there is a crate inside. So this is the weapons crate. You can store all of the characters' weapons in there. except for Crosshairs, but of course he doesn't need to be in there because he's part of the Imperials now. So all of the minifigures weapons can fit in there, and there's a little clip right there for Hunter's knife. Let's go to the back of the ship now. As we come to the back of the ship, the first thing that you'll notice is the big engines right here. They are done using blue tiles, and they definitely work really well. They have little panels right here that can fold down, and both of those panels are stickered, so on the tops and bottoms, they can both come together like that. I don't know if that's like focus the engines or like close them up when they land. I don't exactly know what it is, but it looks pretty nice. Let me turn it a bit. Right there is the gunner's cockpit. I think that's what they're supposed to represent. The room where Omega was at, which is the gunner's area. And right here are the two cannons. They are definitely somewhat inaccurate because of the fact that the cannons are very, very low compared to the cockpit. And, of course, in the show, they're basically just below them. But these are, like, from here down to here. So that's fairly low. But, once again, the designers can't fit all of the details into this $100 set. If they had boosted the budget for this set, it could have been a lot more, but then, of course, we'd have to pay more for the set. And otherwise, if they did that, most people couldn't afford it. Oh, and by the way, one other detail I forgot to mention was the inclusion of spring-loaded shooters on the bottom of the ship. There are two of them, and they're in red, but of course you all know what a spring-loaded shooter looks like and how it acts, so I'm not going to show you. So this is the instruction manual for the set, and it includes a good picture of the set up front, basically the exact same as the box art, except I think this might be different, and there's a little QR code down right here where you can scan it so you can build the set digitally by using the instruction manual on your tablet. And at the back of the manual, of course, on all LEGO sets, there's a parts list on the instruction manual. And right here, there is an inclusion of a little I guess, pamphlet or decoration for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. So that concludes it for today's review of Set 75314 Bad Batch Attack Shuttle. Leave me a like down below, and in the comments section, tell me what other sets I should review, and I'll let you know if I have them. I'm not going to spend any money to make reviews of these things because I don't make any money at all. Please subscribe so I can make money. Do it! Do it now!